My name is Daniel Gomez Inspires, and I love people. With our corporation, Daniel Gomez Enterprises, we do a variety of things, but the main thing we do around the world, internationally, is we add value to people. That's my superpower. You see, for many years, I undervalued who I was. For many years, I didn't see my own self-worth. And you'd be surprised how many business owners out there, across the country, across the world, undervalue who they are. They undervalue themselves. So my job, our business, is to help people see their true value, see their true potential. You see, we all have hidden potential inside of us, but most don't see it. Most are blind to it. And what I love doing through our coaching, through our Shield of Faith coaching, is we go out there and we open up their eyes, to open up their heart, to change their mindset. Because if your heart doesn't open up, nothing changes. So I want you to understand this. When you see Daniel Gomez Inspires, when you see Shield of Faith coaching out there in corporations and businesses, we're truly making a difference, and we're adding value to people to let them know that there's no limit to what they can do. Because when you realize that you're limitless, when you really open up your heart to be fearless, there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing can stop you once you open up your heart to realize how limitless you are. You see, because this is the one thing I want you to understand, this is the one thing I want you to understand. You're not here by accident on this planet. Your life has meaning. Your life has a purpose. Your life has meaning. Your life has a purpose. Don't forget that. Two of the toughest challenges that I've had in my life. Where do I begin? My wife. 5 years ago, I was at the office, got a phone call. Didn't understand what my wife was saying, couldn't hear what was coming out at all. She was just crying. That's all I heard in the background. I told her, honey, take a moment, breathe. All I heard through that phone was the word breast cancer. That word breast cancer changed our lives forever. That same day, I remember telling her, just go home, we'll figure it out. For the first time in my life, I had that deer-eyed look. You know, when you're lost, when you don't even know where you're looking. I had never experienced that as a man, as a human being. As I was driving home that day, I remember just the check engine light came on in my vehicle. And that moment right there, I realized that God had put in my heart, son, the check engine light has been on in your life for many years already. You're just ignoring it. As I looped around the corner, drove into the neighborhood, I saw my wife's car from a distance, walked into the house. As I went inside, I didn't have an answer. That moment, just seeing my wife face to face. What do you do? What do you do when you encounter a disease, a sickness like breast cancer, when there's no cure for it? I realized in that moment that my money, my prominence, the success that I had reached up to that level, it wasn't going to help me. It wasn't going to save me. I didn't have the answer in that exact moment, but I knew that there was a God who was available. I knew that because I had experienced the touch of God in my life. I had experienced God moving in my heart before. And I just told her, honey, we're going to make it because God's with us. And at that moment that I had to lean on God again, you see, because I ran away from him. He didn't run away from me. That moment in my life brought me back to my faith where I'm at right now. It was the most challenging time in my life because I had to be real with me, you see, because my wife made a decision to have a double mastectomy. Think about it. When a woman loses her breast, she loses her identity. She loses her confidence. Have you ever lost your confidence? Do you feel lost in your identity? That's how my wife felt. So she got depressed on me. As I was there one day at work, she was crying. I made a decision to resign because I had to man up. I had to do two things. I had to do two things at that moment. I had to decide if I was going to hire somebody to take care of her or if I was going to take care of her myself. And I decided to man up. I decided to take care of my wife myself. I resigned. Little did I know as I resigned at that moment from my position that my life was going to change. I figured I would go back to work next year or sometime in the future, but taking care of my wife helped me realize that there was issues within myself. You see, because as my wife was healing and I was taking care of her, one day I looked in the mirror in the bathroom. And this is the truth. I didn't like who I saw. I didn't realize all the hurt, all the pain I had caused my wife and my children. Oh, that's another story. So the toughest thing I had to do was look in the mirror and realize that I had to go deep within myself. I had to figure out that there's something wrong with Daniel Gomez. There's something wrong with me. And not in a bad way, but how many of you watching this, you don't deal with the real issues in life? You don't go deep down inside and you're wondering why you're not happy. And I was wondering why I wasn't happy for so many months. Well, the second toughest thing I had to do was be honest with myself and give myself an opportunity to forgive myself. So I want you to understand this. It's never easy to forgive yourself, but I promise you that it's worth it. I promise you that when you forgive yourself and you're honest with yourself, because we can lie to everybody else, we can put whatever we want on social media, but if you can't be truthful to yourself, who can you be truthful for? So I think the two most toughest times in my life helped me to become the amazing human being that I am today. And that's a loving husband and a loving father above all things. On my journey in business, I've learned so many things. But this is one lesson I really want you to get in your heart. I want you to get this, write it down if you have to take notes right now. As a matter of fact, get out a pen and paper and write this down. So many times we try to rush the process. We try to rush what happens in life. You see, God's timing is not our timing. Let me give you an example. When you cut yourself, you bleed, you put a Band-Aid on it, and then it takes a while for that cut to heal. And as that cut is healing, there's a scab that forms, and the scab takes time. You can't rush the scab. And so many times in my business, I wanted to rush the process. I wanted things done yesterday. I wanted to be where I'm at here today as the billion-dollar man Daniel Gomez inspires. I wanted to be here 5 years ago, but I wasn't ready. So the same way that scab, you keep poking at that scab, you keep poking at it, it never heals. It never goes through the whole process. So where in your life, where in your business are you trying to rush that process? Because the lesson that I learned is the more I tried to rush the process, the more impatient I got, the more frustrated I got. And the thing that happens is when you're frustrated and you're trying to rush it, it kills your creativity. It kills your creativity. You see, because it puts you in a different mindset. It puts you in a different perspective. I want you to understand this, is that the scab takes time to develop. The cut takes time to heal. The more you poke at it, the more you poke at it, the more you poke at it, the only thing you're hurting, the only person you're hurting is yourself. So I want you to learn from my lesson of trying to rush the process. Let it flow. I promise you, everything you need is already waiting for you on the other side of maturity. You can't rush maturity. Remember, whenever you feel frustrated, look at a cut, look at a scab, and let it remind you of this video that you're looking at right now, this awesome documentary. I had to learn that the hard way. The second thing I've learned in this journey is this, another lesson. Be kind to yourself. The other lesson I learned in this journey is be kind to yourself. So many times we're so hard on ourselves, right? We're our biggest critic. We talk negative about ourselves. What's the dialogue right here going on in your mind? What are you saying to yourself? When you get squeezed, what comes out of here? What do you speak? Because in that moment, you find out who you are under pressure. Stop talking negative about yourself. Stop being hard on yourself. Stop belittling yourself. So many of my clients belittle themselves because in that moment of truth, in that moment of that tipping point, I call it, they go negative on themselves. Don't do that to yourself. Realize this. Realize this. The moment you start being kinder to yourself, the moment you start speaking life over yourself, everything you're manifesting and creating in business, in life, changes. So remember these lessons. Be kind to yourself, speak life over yourself, and stop judging yourself. Forgive your past.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown. I just want to speak to you, the speaker, or maybe not even a speaker, right? Maybe you're not a speaker, but you have a message inside of you that you want to release, or maybe you have a story, right? A story of your life, a story in your career, Or maybe as you're listening right now, you're an expert, right? You're an expert at teaching people how to do something. You're an expert at raising kids. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you had an opportunity to share your message or your story on a bigger stage. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment and what that would mean for you if you could reach your target audience. If you're an entrepreneur, if that target audience got associated to the problem that you solve, or if you're a super entrepreneur with sales funnels out there, not only did it get associated to who you were, but they were able to join your list. Now, for other folks, that won't make no sense at all. But for you, the entrepreneur, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I want to invite you over to something called the Comeback Champion Summit. And the whole purpose of the Comeback Champion Summit is really to do one thing, which is one word, and that is possibilities. That's right. When you get a chance to get on stage, you get a chance to do it virtually, and some of you maybe in person, and you get a chance to share your story. So something deep inside of you. I always say your message, because some of you have a message or your expertise. Then guess what happens? 3 things happen. Number 1, you get to make a difference. And isn't that why you are on this earth? I mean, I don't want to get emotional here, but you're really on this earth to make a difference for someone else. Something has happened to you so it can go through you to someone else. And being able to speak on a platform that provides an audience, it's like having a microphone that allows you to help more people faster. So that's number 1. Number 2, when you're on a platform, I'm going to invite you to the Comeback Champion Summit, you get a chance to have more meaning in the world, to have more impact, and to have more influence. And that's really who we're looking for. We're looking for folks out there who have an interest, want, or desire of serving others. So if that's you, I'm going to invite you to go over to www.comebackchampionsummit.com. Again, comebackchampionsummit.com. Click the button. It'll say apply to speak. Go through the process. And if it's a good fit, can't wait to share your story over at the Comeback Champion Summit or any one of our platforms that serves other folks. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and we'll make some good things happen. We connect again real soon. See you out.
What I would tell my 21-year-old self, there's several things I would tell myself. This is the first thing I'd probably tell you. Daniel, the world is bigger than you think. Go out there and make a name for yourself. Go out there and know that anything you put your mind to, Daniel, you can truly achieve it. You see, because when I was younger, I wasn't told to go to college. All I could hear was, we can't afford this, we can't afford that. I was never taught to dream big, to go out there and make something of myself. You're taught, go get a job and do the best you can. That was pretty much the whole inspiration that I got, the whole edification that I got as a young man. So I would tell myself, Daniel, you're going to be successful, you're going to be amazing, you're going to impact millions across this world. Know this, God's got you. God's got you. And when you tell yourself that, Daniel, remember, there's nothing in this world that you cannot do. Something else that I would tell myself is this, is that stop worrying about OPOs. You may be wondering, what the heck's an OPO, Daniel? Well, other people's opinions. So many times we get side railed to the right, we get side railed to the left, we get thrown off course because of people's opinions. People's opinions are like this. They're like armpits. Everyone has one, and most of them stink. So stop worrying about what other people say. That's what I would tell Daniel Gomez, the younger version of myself. Because so many times we hear somebody's opinion, and then we try to conform to what they told us. We try to conform to their ideas of who we should be when they don't even know who they should be. Think about that. How is somebody going to give you an opinion when their life is all messed up, when they don't know what's going on in their own life? They have no direction. So I would say, Daniel, just know those opinions they give you, throw them by the wayside because you're on the right track and God's got you in his hand. The last thing I would tell myself, the younger version of Daniel Gomez Inspires, is this. I would say, Daniel, your life has more meaning than you ever think. Your life has more purpose than you ever thought. You see, when you try to commit suicide and you took your life and you made it to do that bullet shot, you made it 90 days in the hospital without eating, you always wondered, why did you make it? Man, if you only knew the spotlights that are going to be on you, Daniel, to help humanity become better because of what you went through. I would tell that young kid, that shot himself in that car. You're loved. You're valuable. You're amazing. And you're watching this, and I want you to know, you yourself, you're doubting, you have fear in your heart. Start that business because you're amazing. I'm so excited for my future. Yes, the future is bright. The lights are even brighter than where I'm at right now. I'll tell you this, when we came out with our brand, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind, never did I imagine that we would be selling 3 books a day. Never did I imagine we'd have a book camp teaching people how to become millionaires. Never did I imagine that we would have an online course. I can't wait to see what the future brings. Our courses are going to explode. Our boot camps are going to get bigger. Just traveling the world, really teaching people how to become millionaires. Yes, so many people have the wrong relationship with money. They either have a pleasure with it or they have a pain point with it. And most Americans, most human beings associate money with pain, and they run for it, and they wonder why their business is not succeeding. They wonder why their business is failing. And it's because they need to change their perspective, their mindset about money. And I'm excited just to go into the future and really help people see, to create, this is my goal. I'm going to create 100,000 millionaires. Yes, 100,000 millionaires, because I want people to have a better life. It's not about the money. It's about what you can do with the money. It's about a better lifestyle, about giving your kids that dream, that vision. I was telling my wife this. I said, isn't it amazing how we're able just to help our daughter buy a house? Isn't it amazing that we're able to flip that school bill for my son for college? So many people stress about the little things, and it keeps them from the freedom of enjoying what God has for them. Life is all about experiences. Money allows you to do that. Being a millionaire allows you to do that. The thing is this, what I realized is that as I became this millionaire, is that it gave me more freedom, it gave me more happiness, but it really helped me just advance the kingdom of God, to let people know that they make a difference, that they matter. So my future is bright. I have this on my vision board, as a matter of fact. I tell my wife this every day. I'm enjoying our beautiful 9-bedroom home with an infinity pool, 6-car garage, custom bowling alley, with a professional gym on the lake. You see, the house is to have people come over and inspire them, because one thing that really, really helped me become the millionaire that I am today is I put myself in these big old mansions, and my mind blew up because I started seeing optics. I started seeing things I've never seen before. I started experiencing life at a higher level. Do you realize the human eye takes in over 1 million optics a second? Yes, 1 million optics a second come into our eyes. And the moment I started putting myself in these different arenas, in these different houses, it was like, it just exploded. Another thing I want you to understand is this. I want to have a 90-foot yacht. Yes, you see, I already have a name. You know the name of my yacht? The name of my yacht is Jesus is King. Because I'm going to take kids, I'm going to take children across the world and let them experience a life that they could have never imagined. Because when you realize, and they can touch the dream, touch the vision, it becomes real for them. Let me say it again. Maybe you don't believe it's real for you because you've never touched that dream. You've never touched that vision. And in our 90-foot yacht named Jesus is King, I'm going to allow the young students, the young children, the young adults to taste that dream, to taste that vision, that it's possible. And I'm not ashamed to say this. You know why? Because I myself, I don't even have a formal 4-year degree. Because I realize this, so many people, we wonder if we're qualified, if we're good enough. And one day, God just told me, son, I've already qualified you. I've already approved you. And I believe that to heart. And you know, that's who made me who I am today, because I had the confidence, not in my own abilities, but in the abilities of who God created me to be. And when God is your source, let me tell you, when God is truly your source, there's nothing in this world that you cannot do. So I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for the 100,000 millionaires that we're going to create. But the most thing is I'm excited because they're going to be able to have a better lifestyle for themselves, for their family, for their friends, and really leave a legacy for their children, their grandchildren, and their grandchildren's grandchildren. It's just a beautiful thing. So I want to leave you with this. You too can be a millionaire. Open your heart. Let that seed be planted in you. Because when people told me that I could be this person, I didn't believe it. But look at me now. I say that with humility, because nothing brings me greater joy than to be a blessing to all the people around me. And you too, yes, you too can be a blessing. Why do corporations, why do people hire Daniel Gomez Enterprises? There's a variety of reasons, but I want to start with this one. We really help people see the value within themselves. So many people are leaders out there that are so insecure. Why is that important? Because when you're an insecure leader, you tend to micromanage. You tend to put the lid on your business. You tend to put the lid on your team members. You put the lid on your employees. Stop putting the lid on your employees. Stop being the lid for your business. I think about this corporation that we did a big contract with. Their revenue was down. They were losing $1 million. They were $1 million in the red. They said, why did you take that contract, Daniel? You're crazy. It's impossible to fix. Within a year and 2 months, not only did we take them from losing $1 million to making $1 million, that's a $2 million swing to the black, but you could have seen the difference in the leader there. All leadership had a new heart. They had a new perspective. They started really caring about what they were doing. That's why people hire us, because it's true impact. It's true transformation. The numbers don't lie. You see, because over 70% of businesses and their employees are disengaged. Yes, over 70% of employees are disengaged. Why? Because they're in the wrong position. So we really help you identify the personalities of your employees, identify where are the bottlenecks in your business. Another reason is that maybe you don't have the right sales process. Maybe you have the wrong sales funnel. Maybe you don't even have a follow-up system. Most small businesses, most entrepreneurs fail because they don't even know sales. Let me ask you this. What business survived during COVID that had no revenue? We all know this. Many corporations closed down. Many businesses closed down because there was no revenue. There was no sales. You get 0% of the business that you never asked for. So we show entrepreneurs, we teach small businesses and small enterprises how to ask for the business in a professional way, because understand this. When you have a product or a service that the world needs, don't be ashamed to offer it. And most people have been taught as young adults, as young children, to don't be bragging, don't be boastful, no, don't be showing off. And we carry this into the workplace, and we wonder why our business is suffering. Don't be that best kept secret out there in the world. Don't be that best kept secret that nobody knows about. Here at Daniel Gomez Enterprises, we help you elevate your business, grow your mindset to really have that business mindset. Lastly is this. Many entrepreneurs, they have this thing called the employee mindset. They try to run a business with an employee mindset. And we do a huge training called Kill the Employee Mindset, because until you really develop that business mindset, that's when your business is going to grow. When you stop seeing yourself as an employee and really see yourself as a very successful business owner or woman, that's where the next elevation comes for you as an entrepreneur. So with all our services and products that we offer, know this, we solve your problem. Stop trying to do it by yourself. So many of us try to do it by themselves, and you can't. I wouldn't be here in front of you if I tried to do it by myself. Think about this. I want you to understand this. When the shuttle launches, the shuttle can't launch by itself. It takes a team. It takes a team to launch that rocket. It takes a team to launch that shuttle. It takes a team. And then, as the rocket takes off, now you got boosters. We need boosters beside us, taking us to break through that atmosphere of business that we don't know. And as those boosters carry us through, then those boosters break off. And then the shuttle, then the rocket goes out into outer space, into new heights, new successes, new wins. The mistake I made is I tried to do it all by myself. I'm being totally honest with you. Don't be a Daniel Gomez. Don't try to do it by yourself. The moment I surrounded myself with a team to help me launch, I connected 2 or 3 boosters next to me that launched me to another level. That's how I was really going to make impact. Pride comes before the fall. Ego is going to cause you to be the winner you were born to be. Hire me. Reach out to me and my team. We love to have you. It's more than just training. It's more than just coaching. It's more than just learning how to do business. It's really the experience that we give you to see the value in yourselves and the products and the service you offer. This is the true fact, and I'm going to end with this. Before anybody buys your product, your service, your business, they're buying you, the face of your business. Let me help you. I'm happy to help.
Thank you so much for watching the Making of an Entrepreneur DocuSeries. I just want to take a moment to talk to you. That's right, you that's watching right now. You the mom, or maybe you're the dad, or maybe you're an entrepreneur, or perhaps you're an auntie or uncle, but you're someone out there that has a heart to give, you have a heart to serve, and as you're watching this Making of an Entrepreneur DocuSeries, you may be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I've had some life lessons, I've had some setbacks, I've had some experiences, I've gone through some things that have helped me become a better person, and I want to take that and I want to release that to other folks. Okay. Maybe you're a speaker and you're already doing it. Maybe you've written books and you've already done that. Or maybe the story that's inside of you, the expertise that's inside of you, the message inside of you, this is the right platform for you to make a bigger difference and a bigger impact in the world. Now, this whole Making of an Entrepreneur DocuSeries, if you had to sum it up in just one word, and it's kind of hard to do that, but as I'm talking to you and you're listening right now, you might be saying, Shay, what's the one word? And the one word I would say is just legacy. Legacy. There's a legacy I understand that you want to leave for your family, and I get that, but there's also a legacy of your knowledge. There's a legacy of your expertise. And think about this. You're able to share your message or share your story or share your expertise, and long after you're gone, they still have a window into the soul of who you are and the impact that leaves behind. If that's you and you someone that's want to get the information, you're someone that's ready to do something bigger than just your business and bigger than just making more money, but you want to have more meaning in the world, do me a favor. Go over to www.themakingofanontrepreneurdocuseries.com. I know that's a long email, a long address, but I want you to hear it again one more time. Themakingofanoentrepreneur.com. Now, when you get there, just put your first name and your last name and your phone number and information in there. Worst case scenario, you have a meeting with the team and decide, hey, me being a cast member, this isn't a good fit, but I had a lot of fun. Best case scenario, you decide to take a step. Folks understand your backstory, understand what you've been through, and the world is much better off while you're here. And when the day comes and you decide to transition and move on, it's still doing very, very well. So with that being said, I just want to pop in. Thanks a lot for watching the Making of an Entrepreneur series. My name is Shay Brown. I want to encourage you to continue to watch, and I'll see you at the next episode. God bless.